Hello everyone, and I hope you have gone through the entire CPI course. This series is related to interviews, and I expect that by now you are from the basics of CPI to some advanced scenarios. We have planned this as a series of 3 to 5 videos. In this series, we will share the overall interview experience, how people cracked interviews, what successful candidates experienced. If I talk about my own interview journey, I have given at least 70 interviews in my life. After so many interviews, one thing is clear: the fear inside me completely vanished, and I can confidently talk. This did not happen overnight. I remember my first interview clearly. I was very nervous. After that, I may have been rejected only once or twice, otherwise I cleared them successfully. So the very first thing you need to do before giving a CPI interview is to work thoroughly on your communication skills. You need to know how to speak. You must be able to express yourself. This is a skill you must have. After completing this course, I know you are technically sufficient to become a CPI consultant, but before that, you need to learn how to communicate. If two people are sitting in front of you, I want to share my interview experience with an MNC. It is one of the world's largest advertising companies. I got selected there as a CPI consultant. Later, I also selected at Standard Chartered. I was not a fresher at that time. I had around 1 year of experience, but 1 year is usually not enough to crack an interview at such a large company. Still, I will share it, and I hope it helps you a lot moving forward. When dealing with smaller companies, the interview process usually has 2 rounds, a technical interview and an HR interview. But if you go to bigger interview, often happens in 3 stages. The first round is technical, where they check your CPI knowledge. The second round focuses on your projects. The third round is HR. If you clear the first 2 rounds, you can usually clear the HR round easily. The first round I gave was the technical round. I still remember the interviewer's name, Tanya. There were about 4 or 5 people in that meeting. I just set up my phone camera and started the interview. From that first interview, I derived one core summary of what you must know. You should have complete information about all the tiles in CPI. Monet stores tile, security tile, and every other tile. You should know what happens in each tile, why it exists, where we can monitor. You must also be clear on basics, multicast, and similar components. If you gain command over these basics, then you will easily pass the first round. You should know what message mapping is, what Xslt is, and what Groovy scripting is. You do not need to go extremely deep into everything immediately, but you must know what they are and why we use them. Let me give you 10 questions that you should keep at the tip of your tongue because they are very likely to be asked. How do you store headers in a content modifier? How do you store properties? How do you store the body? How do you modify a message? How do you convert XML to CSV? How do you convert CSV to XML? What is an XSD? What is Xslt mapping? What is message mapping? You should know the different functions available in message mapping. You should also know where to use IF conditions. Along with this, content enricher is used and how many types of splitters there are, such as the general splitter and iterating splitter. Furthermore, you should know about adapters like SuccessFactors, SFTP, SOAP, and H integration in the first round. They ask these questions to check whether you understand the fundamentals. When Tanya started interviewing me, she asked me at least 50 questions. It was a rapid sequence of questions and answers. It was not that I answered every single one perfectly. I think there were 7 or 8 questions I could not answer. For example, she asked how many types of authentication exist in the SuccessFactors adapter. We know there are basic authentication and OAuth 2.0. She asked how we configure OAuth 2.0. I have explained exactly how to create OAuth 2.0 configurations. Expect these things to be fresh in your mind. She kept asking questions continuously, one after another, and I kept answering them confidently. That confidence did not come in a single day. As I worked and studied over time, that confidence naturally built up, so I was not nervous. There were some things I did not know back then, like what a PGP encryptor was. Client provides a key, which we store inside the PGP keys and encrypt the data. I didn't know the exact mechanism at that time. I also had not worked much with SFTP back then. I had a basic idea that I had sent a file via SFTP 6 or 8 months earlier, but I did not remember the exact steps. I cleared the first round of the interview. After that, they emailed me saying, "You got selected in the first round and be prepared for the second round."